Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're doing really well. So today I would like to do my presentation, and also I would like to explain the topics that I go through, the course that I taken, and also the project that I have completed. So I hope you will have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and I hope I will get good grades and explain the topics that I learned and also the project that I did. So let's get into it. So first of all, I would like to do the presentation, which is explaining the course and also sort of snippets of the course that I did. And then later on, we'll go to the project and explain more the problem and the solution we did and all those things. So if you go to the slides, let me start from the beginning. So here, I would like to do a quick introduction. My name is Khalid Abdi Muhammad, and today the one that I'm doing is data recovery internship project, Tiny Llama AI assistance. And also, as part of my program, I built an AI assistant chatbot powered by small but powerful open source called Tiny Llama. So if you go to the second slide, in this slide, what we will discuss is going to be what I study associated AI engineering track, which is the course that I've taken. It also has OpenAI API problem engineering, Hugging Face and LangChain Changa, and also LLMOP and production best practice embedded on Pinecone Factor DB software engineering for an AI. And also during this track I studied the complete AI engineering workflow. I learned how to use OpenAI API, work with Hugging Face and LangChain, and I applied LLMP practice. I also worked with embedded factors database like Pinecone and general software engineering for AI systems. So if you go to the what I studied again, which is the ChatGPT fundamentals, and this was also one other course. It has effective prompt strategies, advanced prompt crafting, and also understanding GPT architecture and advanced ChatGPT functions. And during this track, I studied and completed all those things. So to support that, I also studied how ChatGPT works under the hood, and also how to safely, effectively deploy them. So if you go to the third or fourth slide, sorry, here we have the project overview airline chatbot, and also built smart AI assistant for airline support. Goal detect intent and generate accuracy responding. Use real-world ChatGPT chat data for training. Model Tiny 1.1 billion with LoRa fine-tuning. And here, my final project was also building a travel chatbot for an airline company. The goal was to create an assistant that could help tasks like booking, cancellation, flight status, and travel inquiries. I used it specifically designed for this type of chatbot, which we will see later. And also, it was a small database, and I wish inshallah in the future I will explain this data. So if we go to the data preparation and structure here, we have 5 asset preparations, and also I gotta go. So here the dataset we have is called the BTEX Travel and Chatbot Training Dataset. Fills instructions in 10 categories. Response: history, 10 balance and samples for demonstration. Created conversation format for training input. And so the dataset that you see, as I mentioned previously, it's called BTEX Travel and Chatbot Training Dataset. It also includes the instruction, intent, category, and responses. So yeah, so if you go to the sixth slide, which is the key concepts and tools, here this project includes a lot of key AI tools. The base model was Tiny LMA, a small yet efficient language and model, and also I applied LoRa LO ranking adaptation, which is an amazing to make a fine-tuning possible with the low resources. I also use it Hugging Face SFTT trainer, which simplifies the training and intensifies using the formatting dataset, which we will explain more in details when you go to the codes. So if you go to the code highlighting the dataset that we're assembling, here I load the dataset from Hugging Face, okay, and also the group with the records by intent small set array numbers of each intent categories to keep the model training but fast, built, and still balanced. So if you go to the second one, which is a model token setup, and here then I loaded the TinyLM tokenizer, and also the model also I also set the end of the sequence token as a bad token avoiding pattern errors generalization. Later on I will explain the details of this part of the code, inshallah. So if you go to the, sorry, I'm moving too fast. Yes, so if you go to the LoRa training and configuring, so this slide shows how I configured LoRa to adapt the specific layers of the model. I also defined the training configuration using SFT config. I keep it lightweight, just one step from the training small, but just a demonstration proof of the concept. And if we go to the last one of the explaining the code, here I created training using a model and dataset, and I configured, I fine-tuned it using with one training step, and then generated response from the chatbot. The model successfully responded to the user query about the booking of the flight. And if we go to the challenges and improvements, here we have limited training due to a one-time response, one step, small data set size uses for demo purpose, could improve the accuracy of the large sample plus eval, next integrate feedback loops or external APIs. And sorry, here the conclusion and key learnings to sum up, I gained real world AI engineering experience, which was absolutely amazing, and we are really thankful for this kind of courses or topics, which gives us more real world experience. I also learned how to fine-tune LLMs and apply LoRa. I use Hugging Face tools to build a working chatbot. This project showed me how LLMs can be used to build a real assistant in industries like travel, customer service, healthcare. So thank you so much for listening for this part, and now we will go to the one of the most important things, which is explaining the topics that I have covered recently. So here we have okay, so here we have the project that I have completed, and also and also here is going to be the code. So first of all I would like to do a simple explanation at the beginning. So I'm sorry, I have to go and touch on my computer. So now I will introduce the topics and also the project that I have completed during my internship. What I worked on as an AI engineer developing a chatbot assistant, like I said previously, using a real language model. So the goal was to build an AI-powered travel assistant that could respond to an airline-related customer queries, such as booking, flight, canceling, reservation, or asking about the bagging policies. So to do this, I used a public available dataset, and also it's available in our datacom, and also the name is btext here. Sorry, here we have name is this one, which is a btext travel LM chatbot training dataset, which includes all real example instruction, customer intent, and expected response. I fine-tuned a lightweight open source language called the TinyLama using a technique called the LoRa, which allows me to efficiently train model on limited resources. And also the project was structured like a real production pipeline. First, I loaded and prepared the dataset. Second, I formatted the data into conversation. Here you will see everything. And also I loaded the Tiny Llama model in Tokenizer. I configured LoRa and fine-tuned the model using Hugging Face tools. And finally, I tinted and tested chatbot by generating response from user queries or the user needs. This hands-on experience helped me understand how LLMs can be customized for specific business tasks like building customer service assistance. Now, and I would like to absolutely show you each snippet of the code, while I will try to keep this as fast and as efficient as I possibly can. So if you go to the step 1 and also the step 2, step 1 to step 2, which is important dataset, here, these ones, yeah, I think it starts from here to here. So I started by importing all the necessary libraries, transforming, you can see it from here, transformer, LoRa, fine-tuning and loading dataset. Then I loaded the specific containing chatbot instructions then to the response. And if we also see here, to make training fast and safe, I selected 10 balanced, what's the name? Yeah, PTEX Travel Element Chatbot. I selected 10 balanced samples from a different customer intents like booking, cancellation, and etc. So if you go to step 3, which is this part, here, each entry was converted into a conversation style format that includes a query, intent, and expected response. This is what we will use to train the model to respond naturally and efficiently. And now, if you go to step 4, which is this part, here I loaded the Tiny Llama 1.1 billion or P chat model and tokenizer from Hugging Face. I also set the EOS token as a body token to avoid errors during generalization. And if you go to step 5 to 6, here from here, I used LoRa, which is low ranking adaptation for efficiency training. Then I stepped up and fine-tuned configuration using SFT config with one step to keep the lightweight. Okay, and finally, step 7 to step 8. Here, I initialized SFT trainer and with the model dataset and LoRa config. Yes, and also this step will teach us. So this step still teaches the model how to respond in a format we trained it in. So sorry. So here, which is going to be the last step, the interface asks the chatbot, and also finally we tested the chatbot to, sorry, I don't know why everybody's calling me when I'm studying or doing the presentation. So here, finally I tested the chatbot by giving it a book related query. The model generated a relevant response from what I have learned from the database. Okay, so yeah, Allah. So the optional output, and also sorry, and so this project showed me how to fine-tune real LLM using a PFT, LoRa, and Hugging Face. Even with a small model, Tiny data successfully trained working AI assistant ready for customer interaction. And so yeah, so thank you so much, John, for everything you have done for us, and I really appreciate everything, and I wish you the best. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day or evening. So yeah.